Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought my banner was off, but it wasn't. How are you guys doing today? Hola, people. I am Shakia, the professor, and today is Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, September 22nd, 2021. And it's time for another Learn with the Professor, Chat with the Professor, Live with the Professor, however you want to say it. It's our Q&A day here on SILAHOLICS Anonymous. I'm actually on Honestly Speaking as well. Just wanted to kind of knock out both channels all at one time because I have some things that I have to do this week, so I may not be back until Friday, or I might do I'm saying that, but it's so hard for me not to be on live, but I have some things that I need to try and do. So just in case, I'm live on both platforms. So I am on SILAHOLICS Anonymous as well as Honestly Speaking's platforms, YouTube channels, and SILAHOLICS Anonymous's Facebook page. So if you guys want to truly support the professor, you can share it out from Facebook. But this video does come down after 3 days. So for ones like this, not going to necessarily, ask that you share. But if you want to share it out, tag a friend in it, definitely do so. And if you want to support, go on over to one of the YouTube channels. I love being on Facebook. It is where my platform grew, but I get nothing unless you guys want to send me stars. But if you want to support, go over to one of the YouTube channels. I am on both platforms right now, and I will greatly appreciate it. How are you guys doing this morning? I see a lot of you guys came in already and already said your good mornings. Let's see who was the first. Once again, I misread. I think you're trying to get you one of these, honey. She's always on it, always has notifications on, and one of the first people to comment on my video. So I thank you so very much for the support, Miss Reed. Oh, another one. Y'all try. I need to take me I think my medallions or keychains or something for those who are on it, have the notifications on. They're like the first to comment and stuff like that. I think y'all want an award. I think that's what that is. Let's see. Miss Bacon, good morning. Hey, Danny. She says, I've been missing out on everything. Oh no, Erica Chamberlain, good morning. Kamisha, how art thou? Monica, hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning. Hey, Miss Wood, that is one of our recipients. I wonder if Monique has seen the video yet. Hello, Marla. Zakia, every time I see your name, I'm not sure if you are a Big Brother fan, but literally every time I see your name, it always reminds me of Zakia from Big Brother and her crazy relationship with Pauly. I'm an extreme Big Brother fan, if you didn't know. Hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see. Hey, Miss Deidre. She says, I try. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am having a blessed Wednesday. I hope everyone is as well. Miss Esther, hey, how you doing? Hello. Good morning, and good morning. I think that's all the ones that are on here for now. All right, guys. So you know how this goes, right? This is Q&A style. This is not a class. If it was a class, it wouldn't come down in 3 days. You would have saw the title screen. But when it's like this, it's a Q&A. So all of the information that's provided on this video is basically is geared by you guys. Like, you guys control what is taught in this live based off of your questions. So you can ask silhouette questions, you can ask sublimation questions, you can ask sticker questions, centerpiece questions, balloon questions, business questions. That's all up to you and what questions you ask. And the more questions you guys ask, the more informative it is. If it's ever a video where it's like really informative and not something that I maybe have like a dedicated video on, I know a lot of times people like to catch me while I'm live to get that answer. It's kind of like repeat stuff, and I may have a video, but rather than refer you to that video, I'll just answer it live. But if it's ever like a time where this video is filled with like great information, we may leave it up for a little bit longer, as long as there's not a lot of dead air. So go ahead, drop your questions. You don't have to wait until I finish answering a question to answer one. However, if you kind of come in, if you're watching the playback of this and you ever are part of another live, if a question has already been answered in a live, I will not answer it again. We do have someone that's going through and doing the timestamps for us. So we'll be able to have the timestamps on the videos while it's up for the next 3 days. So you can go back to it and find the answer to your question that someone else asked as well. All right, so we kind of got that out of, she says, I'm a Big Brother fan too. So kind of got that out of the way. I'm open to answer any questions, but so that the videos, in the lives don't go so long, if it is a repeat question in the live that we're in, I'll just refer you to go back and watch the playback of it over on YouTube. The Facebook one, like I said, guys don't have to necessarily share it out. I would say share out the one from YouTube, because the one on Facebook will come down, and it'll only be on YouTube. Okay. So that's that. Now, today's live is brought to you by the same letters every single day. If it was up to my kids would not know any letters in the alphabet other than H, S, I, N, K, and the numbers 3, 6, 5, and 0. So my kids would know nothing else, because that's all, hey, like Sesame Street, that's the only letters that are important to me at this moment, which is our product line, Honestly Speaking, which you can find on our site, shop.silaholicsanonymous.com. That is where you can get your Honestly Speaking products, and I'm waiting for it to switch. Be incredible. There we go. We sell sublimation ink, sublimation paper, pigment ink. We have your syringes, 20 milliliter, 30 milliliter, your chip resetters for your old school workforce printers. We have your cartridges for the old school workforce printers, the new printers. You can put our ink in, eco tanks, what you need, including the knowledge. So there is a section here where you can purchase your ink, purchase your classes, all on the same platform. You don't have to alternate between two. So you go to Academy courses, go view all, and there's so much there, so many available classes. Once you purchase it from here, you do have to go over to our Academy site to see it on your dashboard. And that is this is a separate site. There are two different sites, guys. Shop is where you go to kind of purchase things. You can purchase classes from here too, but if you want to kind of just do one transaction, you would do it on the shop site. But this is your student portal. That's what you guys have to think of Academy as. It is your student portal. So no matter where you purchase your classes at, you're going to come to this site. So make sure you guys bookmark it, okay? And put it in your favorites and all that kind of good jazz. Put it on the home screen of your your phone, your tablet, so that you can come back here and easily access your classes. So academy.silaholicsanonymous.com is your student portal. You can purchase classes from here. Just go to all classes. You can get your memberships from here also. But if you purchase any classes here under Academy courses, so that you can, like, here is where you can use your gift cards. Here is where you can break it up into payments through Affirm. Here is where you can combine it with other orders. So you do all of that here. And once you purchase it here, it will automatically connect to the same email on the Academy site. Okay. So that's that for you with our ink. And also, if you want to join our Facebook group, go ahead and click on the banner at the top. That's going to take you right to our Facebook group, and you can join our Facebook group. Okay. That's where you can ask questions, share your crafts. That is how Tracy got her award, as well as Monique Cole and Miss Wood, because not only do they use our products, they take my classes, but they're also sharing in other groups, posting on their pages, saying what ink they're using. They're posting in our group. They're active in our group. That's how you guys qualify for award, like for future awards. All right. So shop.silaholics.anonymous.com and academy.silaholics.anonymous.com are two places that you must have bookmarked on your computer, phone, tablet, iPad, iPhone, all that kind of good jazz. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and start answering some questions, shall we? I think we should. All right. So best technique for layering HTV, please. So the best technique is to do what's called quick tacks or tack presses. One, you want to use a quality HTV. Not all HTVs are created equal. Some are hot peels, meaning as soon as the heat, like you remove the heat from it, you can peel it away. Some are warm peels where you have to wait for them to kind of cool down a little bit so that that adhesive kind of hardens and it actually grips onto your fabric. Some are cold peels, so where you have to wait for it to completely cool in order for that adhesive to grab onto your shirt. So it really does depend on what type of vinyl you're using, because things like foils and holographics, a lot of those can be cold peels. Like I said, then there's warm and then there's hot. Definitely read the instructions for your vinyl, whichever one you get. I typically use Caesar. I am looking to try the Stahl's Cat cut vinyl. Every time I say today I'm going to order it, because I always say I'm going to order it and then I don't, and then it's like it's all crazy. So today I'm going to try and order some of that Stahl's, because I also need to order some Platins too. So I'm going to try and place that order for them. I'm not a big fan of Thermoflex. A lot of people like it. I'm just not a big fan. I think their glitter's too thin for me. And then there's some that I've gotten that is just generic one that's from overseas. But I always have to look at what the manufacturer says, what type it is. So if it is a hot peel, you can do what's called a 3-second tack. You're going to just press it for like 3 seconds, firm pressure. Well, good pressure. It doesn't have to be like super, super crazy, like heavy pressure, but firm pressure, because too much pressure, too much heat will make it shrink. It's also important to know what are the heat parameters for your vinyl. And also, you have to check the output of your heat press. If you set your heat press to 300, but it's outputting 320, it's too high. You cannot go just by the readout, especially if it's a lower end heat press. You want to verify the actual temperature coming out of it. If you're the type of person where you don't ever change your temperature, let's say you're doing sub and HTV and you leave it up there at 365 if you're using our paper range, or whatever the other temperatures are, I'm just playing, 400 if you're using like, different paper, different printer, or different heat press, then it's too hot for HTV. You have to adjust your temperature. You have to adjust your time on your heat press. So you're going to do a 3-second tack. Take that one off. Put your next color. 3-second tack, then take the carrier sheet off. Once you have your last one, you're still going to do a 3-second tack. Take that carrier sheet off and put down either parchment paper or a Teflon sheet. And then you're going to press that for the full application time. The reason why, even on that last color, you want to only do a 3-second tack is because you want to make sure that that doesn't shrink itself to where it's not fitting. You also want to make sure that if any of the edges of the carrier sheet is touching, especially smooth vinyl, another part of it, it's not going to leave the line of demarcation. If you leave it for the full 10 seconds, 7 seconds, it's going to leave a line in it. It's going to be harder to get it out. So you do a quick tack just to heat that adhesive up. And then once all the colors are down, then you put your Teflon down and then you press it. I have several videos, several videos. Actually, I just, because all of my videos were kind of like archived for a minute, they're all private, just kind of going through some, some cleaning up. And I just re-released the layered video, like it literally just this morning. So go over to, you're on Facebook, so go to my YouTube channel, Honestly Speaking, and then just search multicolor, multi-layer, and you're going to see that video. Okay. Do I do one-on-ones? Yes, I do one-on-one sessions. sometimes Sesame works, sometimes it doesn't. Going through like changing that, and the prices of that is also going to change. So if you want to book one, try and go do one as soon as possible, or at least reserve it at the price that it's at. And then you email me at silaholics@gmail.com. But I'm going to also separate that too to a totally different one that I can keep that separate. So it's going to be I think it's live with no, it was it Professor one-on-one at SILAHOLICSanonymous.com, I think is what that email address is. And I think I saw someone that says it was their first time. Yeah, I did. I knew I wasn't crazy. Hello, Regina Albert. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully this will not be your last time here. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and post them. I truly am one of the best in the game. I think so. I think they'll say so too. But I am the professor. So feel free to drop your questions and also hit the subscribe button as well as notification bell. And I'm not sure which channel you're on, but I do have 2 channels. So check the description, and whichever channel you are on, click on the link for the other channel and subscribe over there as well. Today, I'm on both platforms, but for certain things, I'm only on one or only on the other. Okay. How do you get pictures to be clear and crisp if a person sends a picture with blurry look to it? You really can't do much to it. If the resolution of it is just bad, it's not much. There is an app that I've seen people use in groups. And basically, it's an app where the same thing that someone would do for Photoshop. They're basically Photoshopping the picture. The problem that I have with it is it tends to focus only on the face. So a lot of the times I'll see it where the face now becomes super, super clear and vibrant, but the rest of it, not so much. That's not good either, because you're going to see that when you press it. All you can do is ask them for a high resolution image. If they don't send it and they still want you to do it, then you have to use that. I do find though that with sublimation, because of the process, you really don't notice it as much, unless it's just like it's a really like zoomed out picture. You can't see any features. As long as you're using a good paper, like Honestly Speaking paper, and good substrates, a lot of the times you really, like, it's not that big of a deal if it's a little bit pixelated. But all you can do is, sorry, I hit the mic, ask them to send a high resolution image. If they don't, they still want you to use it. Just make sure that you have sent back messages and say, hey, I've let you know about this. If it is not to the quality that you want once I produce this, this is a custom item. I cannot resell it. There is absolutely no returns, no refunds. Put that in writing, send that to them, have them acknowledge it. In case they ever try and go back, like especially if they're using PayPal, and say, oh, this wasn't what I wanted, you can send that and you will win over them. So make sure that, they understand that if I'm using this, if the quality isn't what you want, then this is like on you. If you are a doctorate member, you join that. Like my teachings for business is things that you really, really need. I just did this month at the beginning of the month, it was the first session for doctorate. And I had a 34 order summation, 34 shirt summation shirt order. And I shared with them what I do when it comes to dealing with people's custom items and the steps that I take. So I'm not going to share it here because you got to join doctorate for that. But that two steps will make your life so much easier when it comes to dealing with customized items. So it's something in particular that I do and I send to them, and that cuts down on a lot of foolishness. So if you want to know what that is, join my doctorate program, because that information was in our creative business session. I was looking at video about socks. My question is, do you use or suggest the metal sock jigs? I've never used them, so I could not say. I have no issue with using the ones that I just kind of like make from foam board. So I personally have never used a metal one, so I could not answer that one for you. Sorry. Good morning. It's a mask file silhouette design. It's sized at, wait, you're going to have to write that a little bit better for me. Good morning. It's a mask file silhouette design. It's sized by percent. How do you size by? We're going to have to rewrite that one. Not sure what you're asking. Would you say it's worth upgrading to Cameo 4 if you have a 3? Is there a big difference? I have a video that breaks down all 4 Cameos. I'm not a fan of the 3, so I'm a little, I'm not the person to ask for the 3. I can't stand the 3. Maybe, because I love my 1 and I love my 2. The 3 was just a big paperweight to me, but if you already have a 3, there isn't anything majorly different between the 3 and the 4. There really, really isn't. Other than, if you were like, for some people who are always having an issue with like the blade and not going down, like you really can't mess that up. But other than that, there really is no major difference other than the fact that the Bluetooth actually works on the 4. There are so many issues with people when it comes to using the Bluetooth for the 3. But there are features that's on the 3 that the 4 doesn't have. Having the USB plug, being able to repeat jobs is very, very, important for me. That's why I love my 2 and I want another one because I can't stand the 3, and the 2 and the 3 are the only ones that you can do repeat jobs on. I don't know why they took that feature away. That was one of the dumbest moves, in my opinion, for Silhouette to take that feature away. But the machines themselves, nothing major difference. So it's not an upgrade. It really isn't. It's just if your 3 goes out, then you have to get a 4. But as far as functionality, it's really not an upgrade. Unless, I guess if you do things where you need the craft blade or the rotary blade because you're doing fabric, then maybe. But other than that, no. Let's see. Hello, what's the best way to make thank you tags? Wait on. I made some on cardstock. My colors are not bright enough. What material do you use? I use cardstock. It's all about the quality of the cardstock that you are using. Not all paper is created equal. Also, the printer that you are using and the print settings that you are using. If it's something that I needed a lot of, I don't print them myself. So kind of like my prototypes and for like stickers, like before we got Roro, it would just be regular cardstock. You can do like glossy. If I felt like it was too thin, I would mat it. But a lot of times for like mass production of thank you cards, if it's something that you want to put in your packaging and things like that, it probably be best to just go through a print company, the same ones that will print business cards, because they're going to use a digital press or like a digital printer. It's not your regular average printer, and it can take heavier papers. They can have like, if it's an offset printer, having UV coatings and different things like that. So some things aren't meant to be DIY. You can do a lot at home, but you're going to have to end up cutting a lot and stuff like that and investing in some good paper. Koala paper on Amazon is a pretty good paper. For the thicker ones, I do have to use the rear feed of my printers in order to use the thicker paper, but the Koala brand is a good one. They have glossy and they have a photo mat. Like the photo mat, this is it. This is the Koala photo mat paper. So you can see how great those colors are. And I use Honestly Speaking's pigment ink. This is printed from my 7840 with my pigment ink. So colors are nice. And then, of course, even better with glossy. This is regular paper. When I did my bookmarks, that's a good one too. Tags is no different than when I did my bookmarks. So if you go back and look at Silaholics Anonymous Month for bookmarks, you're going to see so many examples of different types of prints that basically can be tags. Bookmark is nothing but a long tag or card. Good morning. Tammy says this is her first time too. Hopefully, Tammy, it will not be your last. I see you're watching over on Facebook. Be sure to follow, like, and follow us here. Join my Facebook groups, but also visit the YouTube channels. The links are in the description. Silaholics Anonymous is where I do silhouette things, and that will eventually change to Shakia the Professor. And then, honestly speaking, she says, that's why I'm here. I heard you were the best. Who told you that, girl? Whoever told Regina that I was the best, thank you. You tell no lies. Your mama raised you right to always tell the truth, telling that girl that I'm the best. Hey. Good morning. Okay, so it's a mass file in Silhouette, the design store. It is sized by percent. How do I size by percent? Okay, there we go. I forgot there was a stupid Windows update. I'm going to come right back to yours. I have to open Silhouette Studio back up because there was a Windows update and it closed down. So does conical warp make the image the correct length? Trying to make the background the entire glass, or have to manually make it the correct size. So before it doesn't make it the correct length. So you have to have your template, like the one that you start with. It has to be the height of your item. So if your item measures 8, especially if it's a full background, you're going to want to have that 8-inch height, and whatever the width is, it needs to be. I will say that for a full wrap, the warp tool is not really designed for a full wrap of like just going around the entire mug, because it does not account for overlap. So you're going to experience a gap in there. There is a way to do it. I don't talk about it on live. That is something that's a part of different classes and things like that that will upcoming, because I just have the template for it. So you can go to my site. If it's for like a tumbler, a 20-ounce tumbler, you can go to my site and purchase the template. It has all the stuff in there. But as far as how I create that template, I don't necessarily share how to do that. Some things, they're premium content. But it won't do it like the entire way around. If it's vinyl, yes, it was more so made to keep your vinyl straight, and it was never designed to do full wraps for sublimation and for full backgrounds. Thank you for the info. I have to get ready for work now, but I'll check out your YouTube videos later. You're very welcome. And thank you for watching, subscribing, and watching the videos later. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I will join them. Change my Epson 2720. Wait, I changed my Epson 2720 printer settings to your YouTube video and it worked. Yay! Loretta Holloman, thank you so very much for the super chat, my dear. I really appreciate it. That is awesome. Do you have a question that you would like for me to answer? Or that's just straight up support? Definitely smash the like button. Thank you, guys. All right, so Silhouette Studio is open. Let me go over here. All right, that's the website. And let's go Silhouette Studio. Okay, we're just going to go to my favorite thing, which is a star. So if it is telling you to size by a particular like percentage, so in order for it to stay however it is, right here at the top, see here, this is your scale, right? If you hover over this, it says 33, 50, 100, 200, 300%. So you can scale up or down by these as well, okay? Or you can come over to your transform panel, which is this one right here. So I'm going to put my mouse over on the star. Watch me go over right here. This is your transform panel. You're going to see that same icon right here, your scale. You're going to click on that and you see the same options here. And you can also increase it by a number that you want. So if they tell you to take it up to 150%, you do that. Okay. If they tell you from the original, now you have to do this for, if I go down 75% from here, it's going to be based off of where it's at. So you would have to go to the original size. And if they tell you to adjust it by 75%, then you would adjust it. My recommendation would be to duplicate it. That way you always keep your original size. And then you'll come here and, whatever number they tell you to adjust it by, 65%, it'll go smaller. If they tell you to adjust it by 125%, so forth and so on. So that is how you adjust by percentage. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a file where it tells you to adjust by a certain percentage. It's just support. Oh, thank you. Sharon asks, you mentioned the 7840 printer. Can this printer be converted to a sublimation printer? Yes, it can. It's a little bit different. I actually also just put that one back up on, let's see. Why do I look all crazy? Oh, it's not up yet. It's coming. I think it drops at 12. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back into let's go back into my channel and manage videos. Let's go here. Let's see. What time is that supposed to drop? I have 1,157 live videos. That is bananas. Okay, it is scheduled. Oh, it was supposed to already be dropped. So let's just change that. I don't know how to switch to tomorrow instead of today. So let's go to public, publish, and I was trying to show the thumbnail, but it's not letting me. Okay. It is this video right here, because I just changed the thumbnail. So you see all the X's on there. Oh, wait, you can't because your name is in the way. You see all those X's on it right here. This is the video right there. And it really goes through. It's a longer video, but in the beginning of it, I really do break all of that down when it comes to those printers and the fact that they are totally different from the other ones. And you have to constantly buy chips. So on our website, you're going to go here, start a collection. It says 7820, 7840 printer. And please read this part here and also the part about the chip resetters. You're going to purchase the empty cartridges, syringes, needles, and ink, or you can purchase just the cartridges and syringes. With either one of these, eventually those chips will run out. You will need to replace the chips. So then you would select chips only. The picture doesn't change, which I need to rectify that. I really need to put the new picture up, but it's the chips only. On the other one, it says chips only, but chips only. They're $57 as of right now for all 4 chips. With this particular printer, you do have to change the chip out once it reads low, and if it's not going to be enough ink to finish a job, or once it says that, hey, cartridge not recognized, you have to take that out and change the chip on that one color. If two colors are really, really low, I recommend just changing them both so that it doesn't stop in the middle of the print later on. But it's totally different than the way the printers work, the way they work previously. And that's just for now. Hopefully in the future, they will come out with a continuous ink system, which will mean that they will have a reset firmware kind of created for it. And then you'll be able to actually reset those cartridges. But as of right now, you just have to buy the chips and replace them. Happy fall, everybody. Hi, Becky. This question may or not be for here. Was there a reason there was no sound on the 9:15 playback of the design class? I'm trying to catch up yesterday and there was no sound. 9:15. Not sure which one that was. Send me a message to let me know exactly like on what platform you're referring to and which video, or send me a screenshot. I'm not sure. If it's the one where I was showing like, I think the correction, I think if that's the one, Miss Cheryl did tell me there was no sound and I have to go in there and fix it, but I have to know exactly which one you're referring to. She says, shh, don't tell my doctor I was online all day. When I go to print and cut 12 by 24 on Silhouette, it cuts off. 12 by 12 is fine. I'm using 4.3. Any suggestions? So you're printing to 12 by 24 inch paper. You're using an Epson printer. You set your page size to 12 by 24. So in the program, you set it to 12 by 24. Your paper size for your printer, you went into the custom settings and you set that to 12 by 24. And then you print it 12 by 24 and then put it on your mat to cut. If you did not change your print settings to 12 by 24 so that those registration marks are in the correct spot, it is going to be off. So if you did all of those things, then the only other thing would be like how you're lining it up, making sure that there's nothing inside the registration areas. And that's one thing that I could really think of outside of that. But let me know if you made your mat size, your page size, and your print size 12 by 24. What print settings are better? Let's see. You had the question about the labels, right? Okay, yeah. You always want to use like a premium setting, depending on which paper you're using. So if I'm using a matte paper, I use premium matte setting. If I'm using a glossy paper, I use photo gloss setting. I don't use plain paper setting for anything that's like a good quality paper. It's either premium matte or presentation paper matte or photo glossy. Those are the settings that I use. No, the 7720 is totally different. That's the old one. Those you can use the chip resetter on. You don't have to change the chips out on that. You use the chip resetter. So if you don't have a chip resetter, head on over right now, well, after this video, to shop.silaholics.com and purchase a chip resetter. 7720. You really need a chip resetter and an additional set of cartridges. You should always have a backup set of cartridges. So chip resetter, additional set of cartridges. Good morning, Professor. Do you have a list of what printers that your cartridges and your chips work with? Hope that makes sense. It's all on the website. So once you go on there, all the information is there. It tells you exactly which printers it's for. I didn't change the print setting to 12 by 24. Okay, there you go. While we're waiting for the next question, Sandra, I will I will let you know that we only carry 252s and 812s. So 252s is for your The really, really old school ones, 7610, 7620, 7110. The ones in, and like the newer ones, but are discontinued now, 7720, 7710, 7210. And those are all the wide formats. And then the small formats, 3620, 3640. That's the only printers those cartridges work for, or the chips on those cartridges work for. And then we have the 812s. That's for the newer workforce printers, 7840, 7820, 7310. You don't know what the chip resetter is, but if you say, I need it, I'll purchase it. Oh, yeah, I talk about that all the time. Hold on one second. So you're going to go here. You're going to go to Essentials. And right here, it's the first thing that pops up. You want a chip resetter. It is what you use on your chips to reset it. I did a video yesterday, day before yesterday, on how to properly fill and prime your cartridges. I showed the chip resetter in that. I have several videos where I show like when I'm using the chip resetter. So if you have an Epson workforce printer, the older ones, 7720, 7710, 7610, 3600, even the expressions, you want to get a chip resetter. Okay. We only sell one. Doesn't matter what's on there. I've already verified it works with the 7720 printers. I want to print a welcome home banner. What setting do I use on my printer for that size? Which printer do you have? And are you talking about like a regular printer? You're talking about sublimation printer? What material are you putting it on? A lot of questions for that. Okay, so our paper roll is not for banner paper. Our roll is for sublimation. So if you're using pigment ink, you cannot use my roll paper because that is for sublimation, not for pigment ink. You will have to go and get a roll of banner paper or just like a roll of photo paper, or, there's several places like supply stores, office supply stores that you can go to get those. So you would have to get that type of paper for a banner. And the widest that you can go is 13 inches. You would do it the same exact way that I do it for sublimation paper roll, where you're going to set your design page size. So let's say, and I have a class on banners too. So if you want to see my class on banners, how to design them, how to print them, and things like that, that is available on our website as well. My class on how to do banners. But you would just go and up here, if you have the version, so you're going to set it to none, and then you would set your width and height. So your width would be the length really of the banner. With the Epson printers, you can go up to 47.24 inches long. So I would recommend just going 47, no longer than 47. And then your height, you can do technically 12.95. It's sometimes really hard to find 13-inch wide. So if you end up finding paper that's like 12, or you get it cut down to 12, then you're kind of, limited to that. So you're going to go 12 or 13 or whatever. You're going to design it, and then you're going to send it to print by changing your print settings under custom to 12 by 40, or it'll say 12 by 47. And you would, when you're printing, you're going to tell it to go landscape, or you can like design it. And so let's go 12 by 47. Once you have it designed long ways, just rotate the whole thing. That's usually how I send mine to print. I need a one-on-one design class with you. I'm going to Palm Springs and was asked to make 30 girls trip tees. So if you're wanting to do a design one, if you have absolutely no idea what you want, then like that's something that really, really has to be planned way in advance, so that I can make time for that. Because if you are, it's a lot different with me showing you how to design, especially if you're trying to do it with me and step by step, if you don't know the program, versus kind of having a session where you kind of give me an idea and you watch me kind of design it. And of course, you will get the playback to be able to help you later. You will have to book a step by step. So that is $75 for the first hour. As of right now, it's $35 for each additional hour, but that's actually going to change soon. So if you're wanting that, you want to take advantage of that price, I suggest you do that, but you will not be able to do that under my regular $35 session, because this is a custom design and it's working with like showing step by step a design. So that one is a little bit more when it comes to that. Okay. Hey, just say. Hey, just say. I'm ready to throw my 7820, throw away my 7820 and just get the 8550. Besides cleaning the rollers and changing the density, is there anything else I can do to get rid of pizza wheels? Couldn't find a video. The density. So pizza wheels is something I even have to do with the 7720. All Epson desktop printers. That 2720 right there. You're still going to still deal with pinwheels. I don't know why people call them pizza wheels. They're like pinwheels. You're still going to have to deal with those, even with those printers. All Epson desktop printers have them because that's what keeps the paper stable. You just have to adjust them. I have to clean the wheels on mine constantly. Getting the other one will not really change that. Because even like our paper isn't the only one that way you kind of get them. And I got it. I was pissed when I did on glossy paper. The way that Epson is making their printers now, it's like those pinwheels are aggressive. But yeah, you have to constantly change. You have to constantly clean it. I clean mine after so many prints. If I ever do something on premium matte setting, then I change it. You're not using premium matte, right? Are you using the plain paper setting, or are you using premium matte setting still? You won't regret getting the chip resetter. It helps to prevent from having your cartridge go completely dry before it resets the print count, so you know when your ink is low. How do I print and cut with 11 by 17 paper? I would like the setting for the printer and software. I use 12 by 24 matte. So what do I do for the printer? So you just set everything to 11 by 17. If you're using 11 by 17 paper. So it would be, you're going to set yours to Cameo. You're going to set your matte to 12 by 24. Your matte and your paper are two different things. And then you would set your paper width to 11 by 17. Turn on your registration marks. Always take my thickness up. And then when it comes to printing it, you would set your page size to 11 by 17. And that's all you have to do. So everything must match. Your page size must match your document size here, and then it must match your page size. I heard someone say something about using A4. Oh, that's the same as letter. No, it's not, y'all. If it's letter, it's letter. 8.5 by 11 is letter. 11 by 17 is tabloid. A4, A3, all of those, even for 13 by 19, it's not A4 or whatever it is, A4 plus or something like that. It's Super B on here, or 13 by 19. A3 is 11.7 by 16.5 inches. That's not 11 by 17. It's bigger. Do not use A3. If it is the legal size, A4 is 8.2 by 11.7. That's not the same thing. Do not do that. I mean, some people on YouTube drive me nuts because they give out so much misinformation. A4 is not the same as letter. A3 is not the same as tabloid. You must choose the correct setting or use the user. I say custom. It's actually user defined is where you would go to change that. We are at 52 minutes. I only see 3 more comments here, so hopefully we'll be able to get through all of those. Let's see. When and what time is the FREE.99 Knowledge from, when and what time is the FREE.99 Knowledge from you start and sign up for? That's this video. That's just the name of this video. This is a live Q&A. So this is the FREE.99 Knowledge. Hi there, Shakia. Speaking of roles, when will the other sides be available? They have not left China. China just had a holiday, so they have not even left China yet. So hopefully they'll be leaving soon, and it takes 30 days to get here. We thought that they would be on the ship. They said it's a lot of congestion, so it hasn't even left China, and they just came off yet another holiday. So hopefully it'll go out this week. Plain paper, and I've dropped the density way down to 40. Oh, wow. You have a Mac or a PC? For you to go, yeah, Mac or PC? Okay. And did you turn off quiet mode to make it slow down? So you're using plain paper set to high or quality. You've turned on the quiet mode and you change your density. Can you send me a message? Because again, like mine, I use for regular pigment, and I never see it on my matte. But when I did the other day, like on my glossy one, I was on a live. And I'm like, I saw the pinwheels. I'm like, dang, those pinwheels are aggressive. But it's like a lot more of them too. There's like double the rows of pinwheels in this printer than the previous versions. And I don't know, I've never even seen like in person the 8550 to know how many pinwheels are in that one. Oh, wow. Definitely message me because like I said, mine is for regular ink, not for sublimation ink. So definitely message me. Or why don't you ever bring this up in the live sessions? That the printers are part of your business, ma'am. You are a doctorate member. You can ask those questions. That way we can look at your screen and stuff like that. Your printer is a part of your business. So if you guys are ever having issues like that, you can mention that in the live Zoom doctorate sessions, okay? Pinwheels are the little wheels that are inside of the printer that hold the paper as it comes through. And if you're using the one from Amazon, ASUP, like people have issues. It's a lot of papers people have issues with it. Ideally, once ink touches a printer, it's not supposed to ever touch wheels again. Ideally. All the large formats are like that. My rolling is like that. It's never supposed to touch wheels because it's normally on like a roll on the bigger ones. But on the smaller ones, because it's not a continuous feed, if there's nothing holding the paper down and in place as it goes through, once that end comes out, it's going to just move like all crazy like. So there are pinwheels. There's a whole lot of them to hold the paper in place as it feeds out of the printer and it's still printing. And, you know, a print head is aggressive, so it could move it. Well, those pinwheels, if your ink does not dry fast enough as it goes over, it's going to pick that ink up And sometimes it transfers it again. Sometimes it doesn't, but it will transfer it. If you're putting like laser paper in a pigment ink print, like a inkjet printer, you'll have those. Not so great glossy papers, it will have those. So with sublimation, you end up seeing those pinwheels on there. Some people call them pizza wheels. I don't know why they call them pizza wheels, because no pizza cutter I've ever used has teeth like that. It's just straight. I do not know why people call those pizza wheels. She says it just started yesterday. Oh, wow. Wow. That's interesting. So it hasn't done it all this time and it just started. So yeah, cleaning them and then, yeah, I'm not sure. Definitely message me. Okay. Let's see. If someone uses sub ink from another company and wanted to switch to yours, how would you do this? What type of printer do you have? Because the process is different depending on what type of printer you have. And I have a video. I talk about that. I'm going to attempt to print directly on fabric using Jet Pro paper. Wait, I'm going to try and print directly to fabric using the Jet Pro paper. Do you think? Wait, I'm not sure what you mean. Print directly to the fabric? Do you mean press directly to the fabric? Because you can't print directly to a fabric unless you have a DTF printer. So can you clarify that one for me, Sandra? Aw, thank you. Okay, so I'll just answer it here. If it's an EcoTank printer, unfortunately, nothing you can really do. You can take a chance and just putting our ink right on top, but it's going to end up mixing with the other. So you would never really ever like have one ink, because there's ink in the tanks and then there's also ink in the tubes. If you have an EcoTank printer, the best thing to do is to let it print out as much as possible. Like seriously, let it get to that level where it tells you, hey, don't let it get to this level. Like there's like a little arrow or something, or like a line on there. Let it get to that color, let to that level. And then there's going to be less ink in the tank itself, and all the ink will really be in the line. But even with that little bit of ink in there, it can still affect it, because once it gets on top, fluid flows, so it'll mix in. All formulas are not created equal. If you end up mixing them, it can cause an issue with how it prints out. And like as far as like the colors that they're used to, let's say they were working on a print job and then they mix the inks. As like when they print out the same exact one, there can be a difference in color. So it has to be where as much of the ink comes out as possible. Some people have gone and, to be as drastic as they'll get long, skinny syringes. So you can go on Amazon. They sell them longer blunt tip syringes. Needles, and they'll put it on their syringe and they'll put it through that little port at the top and suck out as much ink as possible. Because in the bigger ones and like the more expensive printers, you can't get to the tubing. If it's a small format printer, you can open it up, take it out, and then kind of pull the ink out. But it's like, it's so many variables with that. If the scanner plug comes out, making sure that you reprime it right, it's a lot to go through that. So some people just kind of get the longer syringe, pull out as much ink as possible, and then you're able to put the other ink on top. If you're going to wait for it to drain out, or they're going to wait for it to drain out, the best thing to do is let it drain out as much as possible and only do one color at a time. So as their cyan gets low, once it's really, 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 really low to pretty much nothing in there, like I said, continue to print it until you don't see it on the level anymore, so that there's not that much of that ink on there. In the tank, and then put the cyan. Go keep printing, let the yellow do that as well. Once the yellow goes all the way down, you're going to put the yellow in there. And you're just going to keep doing that until all of them have become low and you've put the ink in. Once that's done, then you've completely transferred over, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be all the way low for you to go ahead and top them all off. All right. And then if someone has a cartridge-based printer, the best thing to do is to get a new set of cartridges and put the ink in. Then once you put that in there, you're going to do a printhead cleaning. You're going to print a few purge files, either a few pages of 11 by 17 regular paper, or just get regular, copy paper, 8.5 by 11. And you're just going to print out the purge file, save your paper, print front and back, print it on premium mat to push out whatever residual ink is in the print heads. And then eventually you will be all over to the new ink. Or you can get cleaning cartridges, put those in, flush everything out first, and then put the sub cartridges in, print head cleaning, print a purge file, and you'll be set ready to go. It's an eco tank so for eco tanks, they have to wait until all that ink is gone out first before they can put it in. Do I have a video on how to clean the pinwheels? Yes, I do. Not for the 7840, but it's the same concept. I have it for the 7720. Same concept though. All right. Hello, Kimberly. You can't print directly onto fabric unless you have a DTG printer. And that's a big $15,000 or $10,000. I think it's like, no, it might be $15,000 printer. So no, you won't be able to ever print directly onto fabric unless you have one of those printers, because you can't put your shirt through the printer. And the video is going to be called Clean Your Rollers. It doesn't say clean pinwheels. It's called Clean Your Rollers. Scam. Like I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. All righty. Oh, and we are at 1 hour. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to make sure that that one is still up. There we go. I gotta find, but I know the one about the Chris Clean Two Ways, that video is up. What is the process of connecting multiple cameos? All you do is just plug them in, and you have to have business edition, and that's it. There is no process to connect them. They're just going to be available. Once you go to send, you're just going to choose, okay, cancel. You're going to choose right here, the printer. I'm going to move your comment out of the way. The machine icon right here. You're going to click on that, and you're going to choose which printer you want to send the job. I keep saying printer. Which Cameo you want to send the job to. So as long as you have business edition, if they're connected to your computer, that's all you have to do. There's nothing special that you have to do. Do you recommend upgrading to Silhouette Business Edition if you're using a Qriket? Yes, I do. Because I recommend Business Edition just in general. It does allow you to save as an SVG easier, save as a PNG to be able to go back and forth. Just designing in it in general is, designing Silhouette Studio in general is, just better for anyone. If you have a Qriket, you have to think of it as a design program. Just separate the machine completely. That's like saying, hey, should I have Illustrator if I have a Qriket? People who create SVGs are using programs such as Illustrator, CorelDRAW, Affinity Designer. Silhouette Studio is a vector graphic designing program. You have to think of it totally separate from the machine because you can use the program without the machine and it's just for graphic designing. It gives you more capabilities for designing than just in a Qriket design space. So you can do a lot more. So learning it, people say, oh, well, I'd rather stick to my Qriket. Silhouette is too complicated. You can have your Qriket, but learning Silhouette Studio is no different than learning Illustrator, CorelDRAW, or Affinity. I'm never going to say Photoshop because those are two totally different systems. Vector, basis, raster, totally different. So just think of it as a separate program. And then there are features within the business edition that just makes your life a lot easier, and it just makes certain steps a lot easier. So I'm always going to recommend that you upgrade to at least Designer so that you can unlock some of those features. But business, because to me, Designer Plus is just a waste of space. You're either going Designer or you're going to go business, and then eventually you'll go from Designer to business. But Plus is just a means to get to business for me because it's just really no real advantages to the Plus. Use my link. Definitely use my link. You'll get it. It's not a discount. Like I don't have a discount code, but that site that it goes through is cheaper than going through the Silhouette America. So you can always use my link. If you don't, if you're ever on our website and you want to upgrade, you don't want to kind of go through a video to find the link, you're just going to come up here and it says Silhouette Studio Business Edition Upgrade, Silhouette Studio Designer Edition Upgrade, Silhouette Studio Designer Edition to Business Upgrade. So you're going to click on either one of these and it's going to take you to the site where you can purchase that. And right now it is, and also y'all saw that pop up. If you decide you want a roll-in, I'm going to have my link on there too for here. Johnson's Plastics has it. A couple of the places have it. But if you ever want to order anything from Swing Designs, you come here for anything, vinyl, upgrades, brother, all of your stuff, make sure y'all click on one of my links. So just come to my page first, go to Swing Designs. I will receive a small commission based off of your purchase. So it's a great way to support my platform and everything that I do over here for you guys for free. So just click on that. It'll take you over here to the site. It is $59.99 to go straight from the free version to business edition. So you're either going to use, so only way you can print directly to a fabric is to use sublimation if it is polyester fabric, or you're going to have to use Jet Pro. There's like sublimation is the only option to press and apply a design directly to a fabric and not have to use a some sort of transfer. But if it's like a cotton fabric, there's nothing that you can do unless you're going to give it to someone for them to print to do direct to garment printing or sublimation. That's the only options you have. Yes, I mean, it's a learning curve, but just like any design program. If you decide to go to Illustrator, it's still going to be a learning curve. Affinity Designer, learning curve. CorelDRAW, learning curve. At least with this one, it's a smaller investment other than like Affinity. Affinity is not a large investment to get into, but this is a much smaller investment. And while you're learning certain things, you can learn in the free program. I have so many classes on that. We have a live session tonight on my academy where we're going to go through like some design stuff. We have a beginners one. So I'm gonna close out. So if you are watching, do not post any more questions. I will not answer any more questions. So questions have been cut off. All right. So I will not answer any more questions that's in the comment section. What I am going to do is break down how my academy works and how it's going to work going forward. As of right now, the bachelor's was one to where it was the how. This is me. No one comes to Shakia just to learn the how. You can watch whatever YouTube video. You can go in groups. You can go to, let me stop. I was about to say something really petty. I'm not going to do that because God ain't going to bless me if I be petty like other folk. So I'm not even going to say what I'm about to say. But there are places where they just teach you the how. They're not teaching you the why. I feel like my academy truly is built off of the parable: teach a man to, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. A lot of, even with my YouTube videos are me giving you a fish. It's not me teaching you to fish. It is me giving you, and some of them are like kind of teaching you, but it's just me giving you a fish. Other classes and things like that, they'll show you how to do a tumbler. It's like wrapping it, and it's like, but okay, how do I design this? When I want to be free to design like the professor and think like the professor, how do I do that? I don't teach how. Like, I had that one, and it was like, someone said, hey, you have a lot of content, a lot of designs that you've done. Can you just make videos with those and just show people how you did it? Like, not really explaining anything, just show how you design those. That's not really like what I enjoy doing. I like teaching the why. I want you guys to, if you desire to be a graphic designer and take that into your own hands. People go to school and pay thousands of dollars for graphic designing, like to learn graphic designing. It's not something that you're going to learn overnight. It is not something that you're going to learn just by YouTube videos. There are people who are in school for graphic designing, and they will go to YouTube videos to supplement the education that they have learned, because maybe they missed something in class. Okay, maybe if I watch this one, I can see it a little bit different, and then it helps them. So people who are in school for graphic designing use YouTube videos to supplement, but you're getting the meat and potatoes in class over time. So as of right now, my bachelor's was set to like just the how. I'll just make some videos, but I can't stand doing pre-recorded videos. I like to have people with me when I'm doing it. I like to teach. I do well with doing pre-recorded, but that's not my jam. I prefer to be in front of a live audience and teach. So going forward, my bachelor's program is for beginners, and it will go a lot slower. You will have 3 sessions that will be geared towards, like people like to say, it's no person left behind. That is the no man left behind zone, to where if we're going over something, it's going to go the pace will be a lot slower, because we're going to take like one thing and we're going to, whether it's trace that, whether it's to build certain things and stuff like that. So that's our beginner. I also do beginner lives in my group. So once you join my membership, you get a group, and I do a beginner live every single Monday. Well, now, this month we started doing a beginner live, and it's like one step at a time. It took us 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions, I guess, to get we got like these like keychains. So you can use them in different ways and stuff like that. But every Monday, between 12 and 12:30 is when I try to go live, and it's a beginner one. One simple thing like putting together some sort of design. Then on Wednesdays, it's the more intermediate one. The only reason why we're not doing one today is because I have a live Zoom this evening. So there will not be a 12 o'clock live in my group today, because there is a live Zoom this evening. So I do those, and every single month it will change. And we start at the beginning of the month. We will start with a very, very simple base, and each session will build on that. So it's progressive. Each and every month, it's going to be a different design, and we're going to progress from where we start at, and then add to it, and then add to it, and then add to it, and then add to it. Every single month is like that. So bachelor's is straight beginner. So for you'll still have access to the Facebook group. You will have access to all of like the playbacks from, classes that we've already done. You don't get access to like all of my classes. It's just what's a part of this particular program. And like I said, bachelor's will be your beginner, your foundation. We will have extended essentials. We will have study sessions where you can go and like Q&As, and you can share your screen. I can walk you through it. A select few people, we will walk you through, whatever issues you're having. You missed a step. All right, let's go back and let's do that. That's what that will be for. Intermediate, There is no going back. There is no, well, it's breaking down the explanation of, well, where do I go to group? Well, if I say, all right, we're going to group this together, I'm no longer going and saying, okay, you can right click and group, you can use keyboard shortcuts, you can go to the icon. At that point in the intermediate, if you are going to attend the intermediate, you're either going to, y'all, sorry for saying it this way, you're going to shut up and watch. If you want to try and follow along, you better be able to keep up, or just hush and watch. I hate the word shut up. I even tell my kids shut up. So that was kind of rude of me. You're going to, not say anything and just watch and kind of just absorb and be in the live. And then you're going to go back and watch it and then try it. Because I had my little session where I asked people, feedback on how they learn. And someone was bold enough to tell me, and like, I needed that, where they're like, they really don't like it when I go back and I help people on, like, when they're coming in, they're trying to learn a specific thing, and I'm going back and I'm helping someone because they haven't gotten it and they truly are not ready for that level yet. It slows it down. So in intermediate and advanced type classes, I will not be going over it as if it's like it's for a beginner. Not everything is for a beginner. You have to learn the basics. You have to master cropping, just in cropping, not in a design, to understand it. When I go and I say, okay, we're going to put this box and we're going to crop. You can't go and ask, hey, well, how do I crop? Where do I go to crop? I'm going to ignore the question. I'm being very honest. I'm going to ignore the question, because I've made it to where all of my classes, your prerequisite is Essentials to Silhouette Studio. If you are not taking the time to go through Essentials to Silhouette Studio, that's not on me. If you're not taking the time to learn the program outside of attending the live Zooms, that's not on me, because that's what I did to learn. I studied my program. So when people go to school for graphic designing, they're not jumping out there and taking on paid jobs. I know it's a little bit different with this crafter thing. We all think that we can learn projects and learn to design. If you're wanting to jump into this for a business, then maybe you need to focus on not being a designer and just being a creator and just making the items and purchasing your designs from a designer. There's no shame or blame in that. But if you're wanting to learn, you're going to have to put in the time. You're going to have to put in the work to learn the program. I can't handhold, there we go, the entire time. So at intermediate and advanced sessions, I'm not going over the basics. Hey, I'm going to provide elements. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take these and we're going to crop them, or we're going to add them. We're going to, you're going to build your own type design or whatever. I'll show you how to do it. And we're going to create. That's how that's going to go. And that's the master's is the intermediate. Doctorate is basically a combination. So if you decide, okay, I know I still need the basics, but I also want to see what the possibilities are. And I'm going to, just sit in the corner and watch and then go try myself. You can join doctorate, because you will have access to both the beginner, the intermediate, but in the doctorate program, you will also have access to my business sessions. And we have 3 to 4 of those per month. We have an AM check-in, a evening check-in, because everyone's schedule is different. We have a profit by the number session, and we have a website session. And in those sessions, it's just different conversations to help you with your business in all of these different sessions. We just had one on apps. This month was apps. Last month we did themes, I think, or something like that for your website. And I only teach Shopify. I do not teach Wix, WooCommerce, GoDaddy. I only teach Shopify. That's it. And then we're going to have the one that's just business, which if you don't want to learn, Silhouette Studio, so let's say like you have a business where you don't need Silhouette Studio, but you need that push for your website. You need that push to understand how to maximize your profit. You need that push to understand how to post to social media. Then that one is going to be a separate one. Come October 1st, that one will be available. That will be a separate one. And it's going to be the Professor's College of Business Education. So that is just what that one is. It's the Professor's College of Business Education, and that's just the business side. But the Doctorate of Creative Business is for those who are in the creative business space. Okay. So as of October 1st, the prices will change and the structure will change. If you are wanting to get in at the price points that they are now, especially doctorate, I suggest you go to academy.silaholics.com and sign up now, because that is going to change very, 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 very soon here. Okay. But yeah, that is how the structure of the courses and things like that work on my Academy site. So if you are just wanting to learn Silhouette Studio, start with the bachelor's for a little bit and get your feet wet and really understand those concepts. This Saturday, if whether you are a bachelor's, master's, doctorate, if you're not, whether you're a membership member, a membership student, or if you have just purchased Essentials to Silhouette Studio, it's all you have is Essentials. This Saturday is the refresher. The first part of the refresher, I'm going to go over the left part of the screen, and I will let you know also like where the extended part is, because most of the stuff over there I've actually gone over. It's just small things like the line tool or shape tool and things like that. So we're going to go over the left side. We're going to go over tracing and modify, I think is what because that's like the main things people ask about. We're not going over the entire thing all over again. I'm going to review the left side. We're going to go over page setup and things like that, and tracing. And I think like your make compound path is one of the other things that people always ask about. And then of course we'll have it where if there are any questions, we will field questions. If you want to make sure that your question gets answered, go ahead and post your question. There is a link for the Zoom to get access to the Zoom. There's also a discussions tab. If you know in advance you have a question, go to that discussions tab, type that question out. That way, you know for sure I will answer, especially if it's something I have to prepare for, I will answer it, because not all questions will get answered in this session. There is going to be a hard cutoff. This is not going to be, okay, we're just on until the questions stop. No, there's going to be a hard cutoff. Gone are the days of me just staying on for 6-7 hours just to answer, especially when it's repeat questions or people walking away from the computer, coming back and asking questions that I've already answered. Gone are those days. As my team has told me, I don't have boundaries with you guys, and we have to set boundaries. So, but if you have signed up for Essential Silhouette Studio, if you sign up today, sign up tomorrow, you will have access to the live Zoom. The live Zoom is limited in space. There will be a YouTube. It's private, so not everyone will see it. It's going to be a private YouTube link where you guys can go to view it on there. I will not be able to answer any questions really from the YouTube. It's more of just kind of a watch platform. But there will be that available, and that also will be the playback until I get everything kind of uploaded. So there will be a YouTube kind of overflow, but the Zoom in that live session, it's limited. You can register for it, but you got to get in there and get in there early. Once that number has been reached, Zoom is not going to let you in. So the Zoom is limited on Saturday, but all those who have purchased access to it, whether it was through memberships or if you purchase Essentials by itself, you have access to Saturday's session. Okay. So thank you guys so very much for joining me today. Hopefully this free 99 knowledge served you well and you guys learned some things. Hopefully I will see more of you in the classes. I'm telling y'all, you like my free, you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself from my classes. Y'all might think I give a lot here. Honey, you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself if you take one of my classes and actually get to attend it live. Oh, honey, it's a totally different experience. But hopefully I will see more of you guys in our classes and joining the membership. I'm telling you now, better take advantage. Doctorate right now is $150 enrollment, $75 per month. It's going to go up because of the way that it's structured. If you are serious and you are ready and you Now, if you are someone who, you're trying to get kind of like your feet wet, not quite where, not sure where, I'm going to actually make it to where there's going to be some videos where you can have access to them, because your enrollment comes with a certain set of videos. So for certain like live sessions that are really, really going to be beneficial, I'm going to make that to where even if you have to kind of come off of the monthly payment, you will still have access to a lot of great content. All right. So that's how that is going to be set up going forward. So hopefully I will see you guys, more of you guys in the memberships, and you can always use your gift card to join as well. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.